especially with the dip.
Golly.
Like we've seen the first correction in the. I mean, I want to briefly mention it and sway off topic, but we saw the first correction of the vintage Pokemon cards this week, did we not?
Yeah, we saw a correction in the entire market. We saw we were essentially seeing an over evaluation in regards to cards, and we saw a correction, and that's actually a good thing. It means that the current market is still relatively healthy. We're not too far off base. Like the fact that it corrected so fast and so soon, that's a good thing because I think that also has to do with the fact with actual legitimate collectors that are in the space who are saying like that's not what it's worth. This is what it's worth, and then you have people who aren't buying base set cards for so much. And it am I roboting again?
I'm asking the chat. Beep bop. Yep.
Oh
Dang, Shivam, you're gonna have to get off that McDonald's Wi-Fi, bro.
yeah, nah, I'm in the
I
boonies,
know you
man.
got those McDonald's cards, but you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean you gotta use that Wi-Fi, man.
Dargle straight up roasting me right now.
Yeah, a man of many titles. That's what Toxic Crook says.
Yeah, but essentially, I think it's gonna be a cool event. Like this is very altruistic, and we're seeing a correction for the first time. I think that's just because there's a lot of genuine collectors
Mm-hmm.
in the space who know what the actual values of cards are, and just like
Mm-hmm.
correcting people before they buy something worth even more, right? Like if someone's about to buy a card 2 times worth its value, then like a homie could be like, "Hey, it's not worth that much." What's your take on the correction? Like, what do you feel about this?
Want to
Do
talk
you
about
think
a
that we're
correction? Well,
yeah?
last week, I think it's going. I think it's still going down. I feel like people are somewhat. I mean, you okay? Okay, last week it hit all time. Let's run through some numbers, guys. Okay, let's use base set 9 Charizard because that's the most over hype and spiked card in the market right now. You're not only
Overhyped?
roboting, but you're like also phasing out now. But what'd you say? Overhyped? I wouldn't say
Yeah.
overhyped. Like over evaluated, right? It shot up to $7,500 in a matter of a month, a whole month. Okay, we're seeing the first correction in about 2 days, drop down to six. Another 2 days, drop to five, and then within a week, it has sold for $3,300 yesterday or 2 days ago. How?
Yeah.
That's insane. And
Not really.
how is that not insane? Okay. Um, I believe, right, it will keep dropping.
Mm-mm.
I think it will settle around the 2 to 3. You think it'll shoot back up to 5?
Yeah, because like right now, current box prices right now are roughly $36,000, $30-something. Like current market value for that particular card follows suit. So it's basically 10% of the actual box price.
Yeah, yeah, but
And
you're going
so
off numbers, right? Okay, this is what my
yeah,
reasoning
yeah,
is, right?
this is numbers
People,
based off of from
right,
last year till now.
right. So people, T flippers, to say the people who want to make a buck, a lot of them actually flooded the Pokemon market. Okay, they see the
That has
price.
nothing to do
Okay,
with this card though.
yeah, no, yeah, it's this card. That's what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so this is kind of like the theory I have, and this is probably a portion of the Pokemon community that bought it. So they see it 1,000, 2,000, right? And they see it go 3,000. They're like, oh shoot, it's time to invest in this because I had a chance to buy 2,000. It's 3,000 now, and it's going to keep going, especially at the curve it's going, right? So they buy it. They buy it at 3. They buy it at 4,000, right? Or even 5,000. They see it jump to 7,000, 6,000, and they're like, oh yeah, we're making our money. Let's go. And then all of a sudden, boop, boop, boop. They're like, let's get rid of it. And that's why they're just getting rid of their cars. They
Yeah,
weren't in it.
the
They
reason
weren't in it for the right reasons to begin with.
yes and no. So this is where I got to disagree with you.
Okay,
Okay,
it's good.
so when a PSA 9 is going for about a seven is going for $7,000, which I do own, which is leaving me tomorrow, unfortunately, sadly. This card essentially at a PSA 9, it's not worth $7,000 because that would basically indicate that the box price is worth $70,000, which is not the case right now. It won't be until this actual event
Uh huh.
because of the fact that this booster box is going for $36,000.
Mm-hmm.
There's a correlation between the box. There's always been a correlation between the box price and the chase card. That's always been the case for every set. There's a
For sure,
correlation
because
between the
there's
box.
right, because you're not gonna have. crappy cards and have a really expensive box.
Exactly.
Like it's a great representation of how much the box is worth, right?
This is the most iconic card in Pokemon. So like population doesn't necessarily matter for this card because it is unlimited. Like box price, like we're talking about a card from a $36,000 box. So where we saw the correction, everyone sold the card at its peak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Smart people did, unless you held it, and either way you didn't lose any money because you probably held on to the card and you bought the card way before the hype even began, like myself.
Okay.
And like yourself.
Of course.
And so,
of course.
the thing is that when you see a dip off, that's a correction. And so what happens is that everyone who's buying these cards, that's called a new equilibrium. So like we had to set a new equilibrium in regards to what the actual card is worth.
Okay.
So yes, the lowest could be 3,300, but honestly the actual value of the card is between 3,600 to $4,000.
I can see that. I can see that.
And then once this event happens, and that's when the card actually will go back up to $7,000. It's basically a correction, and then we're going to see
you know what,
and then go back down. Go
right,
back up
right. It's I totally forgot that factor of Steve Aoki opening it in front of millions of people. This card is, we've already seen it. We've been on this roller coaster ride. Yeah. Steve Aoki has a huge influence in the market. Well, we'll have a few big influence in the market.
That too, but like if you look at like we've touched base on this already. Like when you talk to sports cards collectors, they say, and you see them in Pokemon, they're like, "Why are you in Pokemon?" Their response is simple: because Pokemon's population in general, Pokemon's card population in general, is so much more lucrative than sports cards. Like, if we're talking about 4,000 PSA 9s for unlimited base set, what is that in comparison to 1 million viewers that are watching a live stream?
Right. But
everyone wanted that card as a kid. Everyone,
yeah. So the only reason I say people are getting rid of it at that price is because the people that are coming in to the hobby aren't educating themselves. They're looking at it from a numbers base.
You buy low, sell high, and then use the profits to buy the card when it's low again, and then you have profit on the side.
Yeah, but the guys that aren't are panicking. I'm not talking about the smart people. So that's why I did it. But that's a good point that you mentioned about the Aoki. We're gonna get a more influx of different. I'm trying to be nice. And we're gonna have a lot of people that think Bulbasaurs are $30,000. You know. Oh, Yizzy OUT. There's gonna be a lot of $30,000 Bulbasaurs in the market. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm saying.
That's facts.
Yeah. Hey guys. I see that there's like 48 people in here. That's pretty awesome. If you don't mind smashing a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. If you're enjoying this. Thank you for watching and coming by to my channel, Yizzy Pokemon. Yeah, if you like my content, consider subscribing. It's free. And if you don't like my stuff later on, you can always unsubscribe too. Yeah, that's all we got. We'll see you later.